Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new Myriap episode here for the Mirko channel. It's your boy Mirko. Obviously, I am here joined by a guest I'm very excited to do a podcast with. Obviously, you can see the BTR drip right here. I'm here with new technical director of Bigetron Esports for just MLBB, or is it the whole org?
Mobile Legends first.
Mobile Legends. Could be better, maybe later on for the whole thing. Hello, Coach Panda. How are you doing?
I'm very good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, dude. Because this is the first time actually that we've met in real life, despite again RSG being in multiple internationals, MPL winning multiple internationals as well. So great to finally see you.
Yes, I've been a big fan of you actually for a long time, and I actually messaged you on Instagram that I'm a fan of you, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I was really excited to come here. Thank you for having me again.
Hey, it's a pleasure to get you as well, man. Very honored to have one of the greats, I would say, in MLBB for coaches for sure. So, Coach, first question for me is, where have you been? I think a lot of people back at home as well will be asking the same question, have been asking the same question.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been doing ever since the whole stint with RSG Philippines?
So ever since my postseason, since season 14 in RSG, I've been taking my time off back in Korea, doing my military training service, at the same time doing lots of self-reflection about my future, about what is the reason why I'm here, what do I want to do in the future, what motivates me, what is my passion, all those things. So I was going through a transformative progression. And now I'm in here in BTR for a new chapter. And I think I'm really excited what's happening right now.
Okay. So is it finally time for the Bigetroopers out there, all two of them, no, I'm joking, with me included, is it time for us to finally get hyped? Because it almost seems like, especially for me, right, in the Bigetroopers, every season it's like, okay, this is the time to get hyped. We finally have the missing piece of the puzzle. It's always one more step, but then it's always kind of like, well, I think you've been with the team for a week. You know the narrative behind the team for on the internet, the Joker thing, label.
It's too early to say.
Okay.
I just arrived here last Friday at 11:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 hours in traffic, but hola man.
What time did you arrive?
I arrived at 8:30. I got
PM?
PM.
Oh my
and
God.
then it took me 2-3 hours just to get to the gaming house.
Jeez. And your place isn't really that far from the gaming house, actually.
Traffic.
Yeah.
Because it was Chinese New Year holiday.
Okay. Understood.
All right.
Understood.
So going back to the topic,
Mm-hmm.
I always believe that everything happens for a reason, for the better purpose. Now, I'm not saying that the BTR curse happened for a better reason. I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that because I'm here, the curse is over. Now, of course, you also famous for mere curse, right?
Yeah.
Again, but what I want to say that I'm definitely here to make positive changes. My role here is not to prove results, but to show the direction and make sure that they have a system to work on for the better results that they hopefully want.
Okay. So the better, again, so you're trying to bring a system. You're trying to bring, I guess, a new direction for the team. So could you describe what that means? What is the Panda direction for a team?
So before, people know me as Panda mentals, right? The discipline,
Right.
and then the strictness,
Yes.
and then everyone's in a controlled environment where everyone's doing what they need to do. Now, before, my coaching style was a bit more like a director in the team. We do this, you guys follow me. But the thing is that I realized that if that happens, sometimes there are other ways we can go. But because I'm the one leading, there are things that could have been better, but couldn't. So after going through reflection, I realized that I want to try a new approach. So the system that I'm trying to bring in right now is not to lead the team, but to make a sustainable system where a culture is built on trust and discipline. Now, I know it sounds very normal, mundane, but this is the most fundamental part. It's not about the technical coaching. It's not really about only the drafting or the discipline or the training. It's really about how can the players come every day in practice room, not because they have to, but because they want to. So I am trying to build a system where the players feel an intrinsic motivation.
Mm.
So they can build a system themselves, but us coaching staff and me, we build a structure, and they're the ones they're the ones painting the picture by themselves.
Right. So it's building the character and then letting the character take charge.
Yes.
Okay. So with that being said, now you're technically working with not just a new set of players, but also a new set of coaching staff. You've never
Yes.
worked with Erpang, with Theo Nile before.
Mhm.
How is that? The last week, again, working with Erpang, with Theo Nile and the boys. Maybe we start with the coaching staff first.
So I've been working with them online for like 3 weeks before I came. And what I realized is that they could build their bonding, their structure, their teamwork better. But I just always felt like there was something off a bit. There was a barrier between them that couldn't really unleash their full potential together as partners. And then working online, it created lots of limits to what I can actually do because, again, relationships are about human personal connection. So when I arrived here, I talked to them a lot. We talked about why are we here? What's the living that we're doing esports? What's the reason why we wake up in the morning training the players? Not because we just have to as a routine, but because we want to. And then we worked through that progress. And then while we're building the system together as a team with the coaching staff, they really found out that they can actually do much amazing things when they're together, when there's a direction together. Because at the end, they both have the same purpose. And they both have the love and passion for esports and for the players.
Okay. So they technically fixed that then. Like the whole barrier thing. They found the way to go through it, or still like they still need time.
Just to easily understand, I'll give you a rating.
Right.
My goal, the goal I gave them is that Coach Teonel, Coach Erpang, before right now, the bonding, the connection that you guys have right now is only 3.5 out of 10.
Out of 10.
And when I get there, I hope you guys can make it at 6.5 so we can make the week a much easier process.
Right.
But when I arrived, it wasn't that there yet.
Okay.
But after we're working together and them working together, they became a solid 6.5. And the rest is just them working the magic.
Okay. So there you go. Now that you brought that up, the whole week you've been here, I remember during Bigetron Con, because it was clipped by the Bigetron admin themselves. They posted it on IG, on TikTok as well. You on stage saying, I made the coaching staff, the whole team sign a contract that they'll go through what is it called? The military style training? Is that what you call it?
I just called it disciplinary training.
Right.
But it's a military style.
Okay.
Because there are many ideas that I use on the training from my military experience as well. Because in the military system, we don't have any cell phones. We always have to do things together. We're all strangers from the beginning, but at the end, through hard training and trust and brotherhood, we become family like that. And that created like so much good memories and a very strong connection. And that's what I wanted to implement on that kind of spiritually wise. Okay.
And did you achieve that in the last week you've been here with the boys?
This week?
Yeah. Would you say it was a success, the disciplinary
I can
training?
say that the goal was met.
Okay.
It's like we got the right it's like when we were building a building.
Right.
We want to make our building like really sturdy.
Proper foundation.
Even though there's like a typhoon or natural disaster, we don't want it to break.
Right.
And that is the system. The thing about the system is that even though like people fight and then like some people are undisciplined, as long as the system is there, it continues.
Right.
Even the players change, even though the coaching staff change, even whatever changes, as long as the system is there and maintained, the BTR spirit is going to keep being alive. Yeah. So I'll talk about the other details in the other part. But as of now, the goals were met. What we need is that since we started strong, they need to maintain it while I'm not there with them.
Right. So then let's talk a little bit about that, right? So you're going to be, you're flying back again tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
And that means you'll be coaching or technically giving them advice online again. It'll be remote.
We will be having remote sessions and also meetings as well remotely, because honestly this project is like more like a passion and sub-quest for me, because in Korea I have my main occupation where I have commitments towards, but esports is still inside me.
Okay. So is it hard balancing that full-time job?
It is full time.
Uh-huh.
It is full time, and also the time difference.
Yeah.
Is here, for example, it's right now
Yeah.
12 a.m. Oh, in Korea it's already 2 a.m.
Oh, so it's a 2-hour difference?
2 hour gap.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. And then I wake up at 4:30 a.m. in the morning.
Jeez, dude. You're one of
Yes.
those. You're a
And-
very morning person.
Well, I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm trying. And then I go to work at 8 until 7 p.m.
Right.
But here it's like,
Yeah.
esports, right?
Right,
So
right,
I've been
right.
having lots of lack of sleep, but still I feel fulfilled.
Okay. So, are you okay if I ask you what you do for full time?
So as of now, my main interest as of now
Mhm.
is on business management.
Mm.
I do lots of PR, and I also do lots of like building structures for a team where the team can actually function well,
Ah.
but outside of esports.
So it's technically coaching as well. You're coaching just the business, like offices, is it?
Almost like that, but
Okay.
I'm not really like the manager over there.
Mhm.
I'm still learning because I'm
Right.
still new.
Okay.
But my role over there is handling foreign affairs department where I help the team to achieve the goals that they want.
Okay.
And that is why when Go Edwin messaged
Right.
me, this is where it was like connected to what I'm doing,
Yeah.
to what I want to do.
Yeah.
So it's really, that is why I accepted this journey, and I'm thankful to Go Ed.
Right. Hey, he's my go-to. Go ahead, W. Go ahead there. So would you say that right now you have a good balance between structure and player freedom? Because again, you're not going to be there for the MPL season, right?
Yeah.
So how do you think the team will have to balance that? Do you think it's okay? Do you think you've left them at a good state to balance structure and freedom?
Again, one of the goals that I personally made for myself during my visit here in BTR is that in 1 week, we will build a system together.
Okay.
And then before I leave, I will make sure that they know how to sustain the structure,
Right.
the system, even without me. And we just had a team discussion just before I came here, and then it's all Aman for now.
For now.
And then we also prepared like some precautions that
Yeah.
might happen. So, but again, we are expecting some ups and downs.
Yeah.
But again, we are still working together always. The communication is transparent. So we are confident that we can handle things together.
Okay. So 2 new players. Is it 2 or 3?
3.
3 new players, all from MDL.
Yes.
The MDL winning team with Theo Nile.
Yes.
Lynch, Riza, and Clive.
Yes.
How have they been? Again, rookie season for MPL this time?
I've never been a fan of a roster that has many players, especially many subs,
Right.
because it creates so much headache to me. Because if I focus on one player
Mhm.
or the 5 players, that means I need to focus equal energy, equal attention, equal tone, equal love
Right.
for the other players. It's like having like 8 children that
Yeah.
you need to take care of, right? So I just asked Coach Teona and Coach Erpan, can you guys really handle this?
Uh-huh.
But they were really confident, especially Coach Teodel trained those players and
Right.
they came from championship. And I can say that this is the first time I see a roster with 8 players that no one is left behind in terms of potential, skills, attitude, and mechanical skills, whatever you name it.
Mm.
It was really eye-opening for me when I was watching their scrims
Yeah.
and practices.
Well, on the note of players, hey, you're reunited with one of your boys, dude.
Eman.
Finals MVP, MSC 2021. Or sorry, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
How was it reuniting with Eman? Did he miss you? Did he go like, yo, coach, it's been a while?
If it was light,
Uh-huh.
if it was nuts, if it was awkward, Demon Kite, if they saw me, they would really hug me tight.
Right.
But Eman was like in his pajamas, like, "Hi, coach," something like that. I was like, "Oh, you're here,"
Right.
and then, okay, this is Eman.
Yeah.
But still, like, it was really good to see him.
Is that just classic Eman? Has he always been
It is
that?
classic Eman,
Is nonchalant like that?
nonchalant, but he cares.
Right.
Yeah.
It just he doesn't show it as much as the
No,
others.
no,
He
no.
doesn't express himself that well. Okay. So then I want to ask the big question. I think question that a lot of people will probably be asking as well coming into the season.
Yeah.
I mean, out of the 3 MDL players, will they actually get some game time? Will they be able to, especially in the gold lane? You know, you have a player like Aman. A lot of people are already like, including me, by the way, like, why would they get a
Right.
substitute player in the gold lane?
Yeah. And I am thinking exactly the same.
Okay.
I was thinking, you have Eman,
Right.
proven and tested. but really you want to bring another player.
Yeah.
What can he bring to the team? But I watched him. He's like a really quiet player
Okay.
compared to Eman.
Yeah.
But there are some heroes, some aspects really different game style compared to Eman that is really impactful for the draft, for the game strategy, and also for the shot calls.
Interesting.
And that is why it's so amazing where like Riza, Moreno, and Shogun, Lynch, Clive, Eman, they all have different game styles.
Right.
So they are keep reviewing, team working together, providing each other's feedbacks, not thinking of each other as a competitor,
There you go.
but as a teammate and as a brother as well. So that is why the whole schedule is always full of like, we can do this better, we can do this better, we can do that
That's
better.
sick. Yeah.
And the thing is, we didn't ask them to do it.
Okay.
We just created the bond, gave them the space to do it, and the ideas, and they started by themselves.
That was going to be my follow-up question, dude. I was like, did you tell them to do it? So they just figured it out themselves. They started helping each other. They started bonding and they felt like, okay, this is my friend. This is my boy.
Yes.
Damn. Okay. Well, now I got to ask you personally. Were there more teams outside of BTR that, contacted you to try to, get you as a coach, as a technical director, or etc.?
What was really interesting is that I messaged co-ed Happy New Year on January 1.
Okay.
And then he messaged me back. We talked on the next day. And then after talking to co-ed, there were 3 teams from MPL also in Indo who messaged me.
Wow.
And what they were trying to offer me was great, honestly.
Okay.
But I really loved co-ed's mindset and his goals of bringing me to his team. That is why I accepted it. And until now, I'm still grateful and I will not regret this.
Okay. So, I don't know if you can answer this, but why? Why did you end up choosing Bigetron, the project? Aside from, again, the ideas, or maybe you can spill some of the ideas that he shared with you. Like, why did it make you choose BTR?
I guess our personal whys, which is like our, not more than goals, our long-term vision of the team, of what we want to do in our lives, what is his perspective of doing things aligned. I'm not really trying to down on the other teams that what did is that the other teams, they actually offered me what can they give, the what's. Co-ed gave me the why. So it's like, for example, I'm trying to sell you a cell phone.
Right.
I'm telling you this cell phone is like has amazing functions. You can take a picture. It has a cool design.
Right.
Do you want to buy it?
Right.
But what co-ed did to me was like, I have a vision. I want to create a culture, a system that lasts, even there are changes in the team, and we want to sustain this in a positive way. Especially, he mentioned that he wants his players to enjoy playing together as a team with trust and bonding like that. And that was exactly what I've been trying to build outside of esports as well. So that's why it really aligned, and his why and my why connected. And that is why I accepted this journey together.
Okay. So then what was the first thing you changed? When you joined BTR, you were like, okay, this has to go.
So first and foremost, I changed the environment.
Okay. Can you share with us what it was like before you joined?
So when I watched them online, there's a CCTV.
Scrim. Or
CCTV of the gaming house.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I asked the esports head to give me the link. Then she gave me the link, and I'm just watching the system, like how they're doing this, who's like vaping inside the game and while they're playing, who's ordering food, when are they eating together, like who's like the trash, is it left alone? I am quite sensitive about those things because I believe the environment changes everything. If you work in a dirty environment or a very unorganized environment, your mind, your focus will all be disoriented as well. I mean, we all say that a clean environment makes a clean mindset.
Right.
So when I went there, first thing I did is that I removed everything that is unnecessary in that place. And I categorized, this place is for what? This space is for what? This space is for what? So there are so many rooms in the BTR gaming house.
Yeah.
And
Is it a new one? Yeah.
it's a new one,
Yeah.
very big, 3 floors, so many rooms,
Damn.
very great place. So waste of potential because all the furniture is like quite scattered around.
Mhm.
But we talked together and then we said, let's make this room an office room just for the staffs, for the coaches, for they can review.
Okay.
Let's make this room only where the players can practice, but nothing is allowed. No vape, no water, nothing,
Wow.
nothing. And let's make this place somewhere they can play for tournament mode,
Mm.
not just scrim mode, but tournament mode.
Okay.
Like they're sitting like, just
Right.
like an MPL. And then other one is like review place. So the players exactly know if they're here, there are some standards they need to meet.
Mhm.
If they want to vape, then there are some rules that they must keep. If there's a time, they must do this. And there's always a timer for everything.
Right.
And that is why it's actually more organized compared to before. And
Uh-huh.
that's the environment that I changed. The first thing I came to the BTR gaming house.
Yeah. That's a lot, but it makes sense. Okay. Would you rate this setup, this place to be clean as well? Is this an organized space? My setup.
This place,
Yeah.
the table is clean.
The table. That's it.
Can I share?
Yeah. Sure.
No, but everyone has their own suitable environments.
Mhm, mhm,
And then, especially this is your studio, this is your house.
Right.
So this is the best setup for you.
Okay.
The best setup for the players, which is like work.
Mm.
For that environment, we wanted a place where everything is divided, categorized, and oriented.
Okay. Gotcha. So then, what identity are you building for Bigetron, or do you see in Bigetron for season 17 then?
I mentioned this just right now, and again, it's going to sound boring.
Right.
But and I also asked the players
Uh-huh.
in the survey that I did,
Okay.
was
Oh,
anonymous.
so you did a survey.
Yes, after the training was over, I did a
Interesting.
survey.
Okay.
And one of the question was, how would you describe BTR when someone asks you,
Right.
what is the identity of BTR?
Mhm.
And all of them, not even a single one person left out, said that a team who has more trust than any other team, a team who has each other's back, a team who are brothers and family. They didn't talk about that has the best mechanics, the most aggressive, the best draft.
Mhm.
They talked about the inner things that people cannot see.
Right.
And that, after 1 week, they answered that. That is why I feel so fulfilled,
Right.
because it was my goal.
So would you say that's the biggest strength of Bigetron coming into this season? It's the bond that they have, the teamwork?
Definitely our identity right now, again, it's only been only 1 week.
Absolutely.
It really matters if they can sustain it,
Yep.
improve it, and adjust it. But the identity of BTR, when people see, is really going to be a team that plays for each other,
Hmm.
not with each other. There's a
Okay.
difference, right?
Right.
With each other is physical, teammates, workmate.
Mm-hmm.
Playing for each other is sacrificing for each other.
Yes.
And really knowing each other's like family, childhood, everything, and knowing that I can really sacrifice my effort, my time, my everything just for this guy,
Yeah.
because I want to support his dreams, because his dreams are my dreams also. So that is what I'm trying to have in this BTR's identity for this season.
Okay. So now I don't know. You probably don't want to reveal any, strategies, but
No.
if there's one thing that you could say, like a hidden potential that like the fans can expect or anticipate later, like say Riza doing really well, or some just a hidden thing that you would like some of the fans to look at when they watch BTR play.
Okay, one thing I can say for sure is that our game style is really aggressive.
Okay.
And you will see lots of colors in the game style. You will see like, what? They can play like this? What? Like they're so behind, but they can still win like this?
Okay.
I thought the game was over, so
Yeah.
I turned off the YouTube, but they won? How?
Right.
And they will go back. Because I witnessed this so many times in the scrims against
Mm.
strong opponents especially.
Damn. All right. I'm excited for that.
I'm not giving false hopes.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
What I witnessed on my POV.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a Bigetrooper. I witnessed false hope before. I don't think this is false hope, brother. Don't worry. Okay. So again, you work with 8 players. Now, would you say you focus mainly on this whole trip on the bonding side, or did you also touch on the mechanics, the macro, the drafts? Did you touch on those little those things?
I believe that on the what's, which is what kind of draft,
Mhm.
mechanical side,
Mhm.
the feedback, the review system. I provide my input. I say, coaches, we can try this. I never say, let's do this or I want to do this. And then after after the coaches agree that they're the ones leading
Mhm.
what they need to do. Me, of course, I've been a drafter for a very long time.
Yeah.
But I was not really a creative drafter because I just really like to stay with my comfort
With
zone
the-
before.
Comfort or meta?
Comfort meta.
Comfort meta.
Comfort meta.
Okay.
Unless it's an exception where I give like Nats his Esmeralda.
Right.
Other than that. But other than that, on the technical side, coaches, I trust them everything.
Mm.
But on the system
Okay.
side, I talk with them and then we provide directions to each other.
All right. So with that being said, right? So we covered the bonding side. We covered what the identity is for Bigetron. Now I want to go into like some in-game stuff.
All right.
Or yeah, some of the questions that obviously a lot of people have, me as well. What do you think right now is more important in the current meta, the current landscape of MLBB, drafting or execution? Because we see this a lot. A lot of people are arguing about it on the comments as well.
I think it's more like a chicken and an egg problem.
Mm.
We don't really can say for sure what's more important.
Okay.
If you have a good draft, then it's very easy to play. And there's also like very good draft that can counter the enemy. But if you execute it wrongly, then of course, then you cannot really use that potential of a good
Right.
draft. But at the same time, even when you have a really not good draft, like you got countered.
Yeah.
For example, you're playing Fanny and enemy plays like Chu or Hylos, and then let's say like Valentina, I don't know, okay? Or Ruby.
Right.
It really depends on the player's decision making. It really depends on the communication they're making. It really depends on the discipline, teamwork that they're making. So even though you have a bad draft, you can still make amazing plays
You can
depending on the planning,
Mhm.
on how you play on that game.
Okay.
So really, I can't answer.
So it's 50-50 technically,
50-50.
yeah? Okay.
I just want you guys to just enjoy the game, lah.
Right.
Right?
All right. So do you think that this is a question that, again, like comes out a lot, especially in the current, like the recent championship wins in MLBB? It's all been Philippines.
Yeah.
So you've worked with the Philippines, you've worked in MPL Philippines, and now you're coming into ID. What's the biggest difference you would say is between the PH and the ID culture, the players?
Again, I've been only here for a week.
Right.
I just ate my first nasi goreng 2 days ago.
Is that the only Indonesian dish you ate?
I have so many pictures, but I don't know the names.
Okay. Okay.
What I can say, I want to know more about the Indonesian people.
Mhm.
But what I can say for sure is that on my experience working with the Filipinos is that they're really desperate. Many of the players have a really, not really a jolly childhood or family
Right.
background. And then MLB being a Philippines so competitive that if you don't do well, then you get replaced anytime. It's like a jungle out there. That is why in Philippines you always see new players in any team.
Okay.
So, but in Indonesia, I don't know yet, but I can see that there are some players who are quite well off because they're streaming,
Right.
lots of fans. The esports industry is very big. The support is there. The brand, the ambassadors, everyone's like really doing well.
Yep.
So there are some players who are actually more focused on the money because they're doing well.
Mhm.
So maybe that kind of desperation is a little bit of gap between the Filipinos and the Indonesian. I'm not saying this is right, but on my experience.
Yeah.
for
Your
now,
perspective.
On my perspective.
Okay. So, that was just based on your perspective,
Yes.
right? Yeah. Okay. So do you also, well, that's, again, when it comes to the players' culture. What about the draft philosophies? Do you see differences between, because you worked with Theo, with Coach G back in the day, versus now, Indonesian coaches. Are there different philosophies when it comes to draft, when it comes to VOD reviews?
I personally feel like the difference between the drafting style of Philippines and Indonesia is that Philippines, they really put more effort into how to make this draft easy to execute
Okay.
and balanced. So you always have like a front tank, an initiator, a backup damage, and also like a fighter or marksman. and they focus on macro, focus on objectives, focus on like how to protect their carry, like that. But in Indonesia, the drafting style that I noticed is that they really prioritize a very team fight heavy draft.
Yeah.
Like they really want heroes that are aggressive, like two
Mhm.
fighters plus assassin plus mage, like all these flashy heroes. And then after turtle, we fight again, we invade again. After this objective, then we do this and do that. When we before the Lord, we stay here and then we wait for the enemy and flank them. We are behind, but we have heroes that can kill the backline. So let's
Right.
go around the map and let's make this incredible play. So Philippines, kind of you can expect, okay, so this team will win. I mean, they got the early game objectives, so unless they don't really mess up, the objectives will just continue. Indonesia is like, oh, this team is behind, but with this team, but with this player, heroes, they can make this all like aggressive, flashy game styles, and they can still come back. So it's like it's both fun to watch
Okay.
for me.
So in the scrims that you watch while you're here, oh, actually, first I want to ask the percentage of like IRL training, like physical training, bonding, and actual scrim versus and reviews. What's the percentage between those three? This training camp with you here in the last week.
Percentage of like how much
How much time you spend bonding? How much time you spend physically training and scrim VOD review?
Okay, so for the physical workout, we do it in the morning because the players are sleepy. So that's the first thing they do. There are drills that we do. There are running that we do. There are some workout exercise to make them pissed, but they still have to follow because they signed the contract. And then after that, we give them some shower time, and then the bonding time is not really like a scheduled thing. It's like they will do it by themselves. Every time there's a time when there's an opportunity. During break time, during like after dinner, even eating together always.
Okay.
Doing the dishes, that's all bonding for them.
Yeah.
And practically, all they're doing is just sitting on the balcony all together in a circle. Vaping, talking about the game, talking about life. And then for the scrim part, we just follow the normal schedule. 3 scrims a day.
Okay. So do you think that's like the healthy thing? And do you think is that the formula that they're going to follow after you leave as well?
That is the structure that I made. And then we asked the players what do they want.
Okay.
And then we had the coaches talk each other and what can be compromised, what cannot be. And then we're going to test it out for a few weeks. And then every time there's going to be a meeting for things that they want to be added or just be lessened. So there's always be a balance, but not strict like what I did this
not
week.
everything like this.
Not like this.
Okay. What surprised you the most out of the Indonesian players, or just like the team that you saw here?
You know, I'm getting goosebumps just by thinking about it, because I never realized that they have such pure hearts. Because they all came from different backgrounds. I know some players like have some big ego. Some players like are hard to train. But I never realized that they actually care for each other that much, even though we had 3 additional players.
Yeah.
And of course, like some are still hurt by what happened before in the previous seasons. And then some are still like dubious about if they can do it this season.
Yeah.
But through the bonding that we had, the experience that we shared together, I really felt touched that I didn't force them to do anything. But they really showed how much they care for each other. And it really showed inside the game as well. That is why just before I came here, I did the final like see you again thing. I literally shed a tear because the way how they reacted to me. So I mean, actually said, Coach, can you please come back again? We'll miss you so much. Not because what I did to them, but because of the personal relationship that we shared together. So really, it was an incredible experience. That 1 week was better than my 6 months of Korea, or whatever experience that I had.
Dude, that's insane to hear again. Hey, I know how much they care about each other as well. I heard stories from last season, but like hearing that it's still there despite, again, the unfortunate playoff run, blah, blah. It's great. So I want to ask you this. This is, I think, something that I want to know. What makes a player uncoachable? Uncoachable. What's a point for you that's like, okay, it's done?
Let me put this in a quite more familiar context.
Right.
Imagine that you have a girlfriend or
Yep.
boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing asking what makes that girlfriend not to be want in a relationship.
Mm.
Of course, people say toxic.
Yep.
Communication is hard. Big ego. She doesn't hear me.
Mhm.
So many things, right?
Yeah.
So what is an uncoachable player? I believe it's someone who does not have love for their teammate. And of course, we will try and then we will, help.
Yeah.
But there are some players where they don't want it.
Okay.
Not because like they're trying, but they don't want, but because they don't really want it from the start.
Mm.
I never met any players yet who are uncoachable.
Okay.
And that is why I'm not a big fan of kicking players out.
Yeah.
Because I feel like players are like our children. The parents gave their trust to take care of them. And then these days, in the esports industry, the managements and the culture or the fans, whatever it is, they feel like, oh, he's not playing well, kick him out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this player is much better. Oh, this coach has it better. This coach cannot control his players. Kick him out. So the roster is changed again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
But how can you build a culture of trust and bonding, connection, if you have a culture already in the outside where anyone is replaceable anytime?
Exactly.
If only the results matter. I know that it can be a sensitive issue.
Yep.
But just from my heart, that's what I feel.
Right.
Just because your child is not good at studying, you cannot send them, son, your grades are not good. I'm
Get
going
out.
to send you to the orphanage. I'm going to get another kid. You cannot do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I want to look at the world.
Mm-hmm.
How I want to look at the trend of
Mhm.
esports and everything right now. That is why, unlike before, the coach Panda is always angry, not smiling, like scolding. And this time, I'm trying to put more positive input, of course, with strictness and firmness, but with lots of love, trust, and also the idea that they're doing this for each other, not because like they have to, but because they want to.
Yeah. So again, you created it seems a very strong bond with the players. You even shed a tear. Did you communicate in mainly English? Did you have like the coaches translate, or was it kind of just like you feeling the vibes?
And that is the thing. When I first came there and I said in English, some players understood.
Okay.
Some players like Niall was like, "Hello, coach," like that. And there are some players like, "Apa?" Like that.
Yeah.
But at the end, the players eventually learned my English.
Okay.
And at the same time, I also said a bit of Bahasa to them as well, like Mengerti, like that. And then eventually they understood my English as well. But of course, there are some parts where I asked the coaching staff to translate for me.
Okay. So it goes vice versa. Like when the players want to say something to you, they ask Dionyle and or the English speakers to communicate and translate to you.
Yes.
Okay.
But of course, when I'm there and then coach, if it's about a team matter, I tell them only Bahasa English, Bahasa Indonesia. Don't speak in English.
All right. So this last 7 days, do you think there was a moment what was the hardest moment for you as a coach to like, the hardest conversation for you to have as a coach with a player?
I believe the hardest part for this week with the players was making some players understand that they're doing this for the better good. Not because they just have to follow because I said so and they don't know what might be the positive results, but they're doing this because they're working for the bigger purpose. Because I took lots of freedom away from them. So, of course, some players, like, they felt really frustrated. Like, they're stuck. But they're doing it because, like, of course, I'm a new guy.
Yeah.
They know me like a very angry and strict guy. So they followed. But when I had personal conversations with them, they tend to understand that, okay, I get it. But how to make them feel it, that they want to do this. They want to keep the system alive. And that is still a challenge until now.
Okay. So now I'm gonna move on to like I think more on the M7 parts.
Oh,
by
yeah.
the way, because again, your boys Light Demon Kite, they lifted a trophy, a world championship trophy. What was your reaction to again the M7 World Championships, the Aurora win, Demon Kite and Light winning?
You know, it's like they continued the legacy that we tried to build since RSG days.
Mhm.
Because we're all okay until on like season 9 and then MSC. But after that, we tried again, but we didn't get to the international
Third
stage.
place, always one step
and
away.
again, we were like always third place,
Yeah.
third place, fourth place, third place. Like
Bigetron
that.
story, by the way.
Same, right? Oh, yeah. But when I saw Demon Kite and Light on the stage with new teammates, with new coaches, doing really like, semangat.
Yeah.
And first struggling in the Swiss stage,
Mhm.
but eventually like just nailing everything off in the playoffs. I felt very fulfilled. Not
Mhm.
because they won and got the trophy, but because I genuinely felt that they really deserved it.
Hmm.
Because I prayed for it, really.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just like how I prayed for my other players. And that is why, even though I wanted to say, Light, congrats, Demon Kite, congrats after they won, I didn't message them.
Ah.
I waited another day. And the surprising thing is they messaged me first.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I wanted them to celebrate the moment
Yeah,
with
yeah,
their
yeah.
teammates, with their loved ones. So I just stood back.
Mhm, mhm.
And it felt really amazing how they approached me also as well, because they still remember me in that heated moment.
Yeah. I mean, that's how much you left an impression on them, I guess, right? Again, like that's how good of a coach you are to them.
All I can imagine myself is that I didn't like myself before because I was always angry, not really love.
Mhm.
But I do remember that I was really passionate towards them.
Yep.
I worked hard. I worked until late. I was not the smartest coach, but I can say that I really worked hard for them as well, together. And for me, I'm happy that they remember those moments together, even though there were many ups and downs. Still, RSG's culture was really about brotherhood and
Mhm.
trust
Mhm.
as well. So I'm very happy that they won that M7. Really deserve.
Yeah. Very deserved indeed.
But I was rooting for Alter Ego as well.
Interesting. Okay. So, what do you think went wrong with Alter Ego?
Is that
Just your take on it. Did you watch it live? Were you watching every game?
some games live?
Okay.
Alter Ego games I watched,
All right.
even replay.
So the TLPH one, the SRG one, that hell lower bracket run.
I watched it. I
Okay.
watched it because I've been talking to Light during their M7 journey.
Ah.
And he's asking me for some insights as well.
Mhm.
But for Alter Ego, it's really amazing because I've been an Alter Ego fan since their MPLI championship way back
Right.
before.
2021? 2020.
Yeah,
Right before M2.
I was so inspired by the gameplay.
Yeah.
It was like almost unstoppable, their
Mhm.
game that time. And then I saw the journey that Alter Ego had. And this journey was like one of the best really they had,
Agreed.
especially with Nino in the EXP lane.
Yes.
Such a big transformation because he was one of the best gold laners in Indonesia,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And then what I saw is not really their gameplay, but I was really checking like how do they talk each other during like in the mic check, even though I don't understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will just like download the transcript that they're talking.
Wow.
I'll put it in my ChatGPT and ask them like what did they say,
Mhm.
and so I'm listening as well. I also looked how they respected the enemy after they won, like with against Team Secret.
Right.
Right.
Team Spirit.
Team Spirit.
Uh-huh.
Team Spirit with Kid Bomba like that.
Yeah.
And then I saw like Nino being respectful,
Uh-huh.
even the taunting. And so I can really see that he's a captain, he's
Yeah.
a leader, and he's a great guy.
Mhm.
And then
He is.
based on that, the players have trust. They also trust each other.
Yes.
And Coach Ura did a great job with the drafting as well. So that is why I feel like this team deserves to win also.
Mhm.
So I really rooted them for them because I saw that the light that sparked
Right.
within the team. And I know it was not a easy journey for them.
Oh yeah.
That is why I was supporting them as well.
Yeah, I think they gained a lot of fans despite losing, despite going runner up.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of international fans were like, "Dude, we respect Nino. We love
Yeah.
him. He's such a good guy." Yeah, definitely deserved. So, okay, now that we're talking about the championship win, Light Demon Kite now have an MSC championship back in RSG days, and now World
M7.
Championship. So, what do you think separates a talented player, from a championship winning player? What are the slight differences that make a championship winner?
Is it possible if I can reverse the question to you one time?
Sure.
What makes you feel like how can you define a talented player?
A talented player, I would say, great mechanics, great understanding of the game, awareness. Just the baseline, I would go on that.
Great mechanics, great communication,
Great awareness, so like
great
macro.
awareness. Okay.
Mhm.
How would you define a championship player?
Mentality.
Mentality. There it is.
Okay.
And one more thing I would add is, if this player connects to mentality, if this player is willing to continue even when things get hard in the team. Because there are players like who easily wants to give up.
Mhm.
Their hati is like, oh, I don't feel confident anymore.
Right.
Maybe I should just stop. There are some players like, I don't really feel well, so maybe I'll just go talk with my girlfriend, or I'll just watch TikTok, or just to relieve stress. But there are really great players, like championship deserving players, where even though when things get hard, they think about how to still go forward. Of course, we all know that from point A to point B, we expect that it was going to be a direct road. But life is not like that.
Right.
God gives you challenge endlessly just for you to reach that point, so that you can be a transformation for you. But people easily give up during the process because it's not easy. So a championship player for me is like everything that you combine, the mentality and everything, is someone who's willing to still take every single challenge and continue until they reach their goal. And that's what I believe is the difference between a talented player who has potential versus a championship player, even without talent, can still reach.
Okay. So now, what about the team? Because as a player, then I guess we've already spoken about that. But what makes a championship winning team?
There's three things that I always mention to every single team that I go to before. First step for being a championship is, number one, is fundamentals. Fundamentals meaning drafting, how to play the game, how to communicate with each other, how to execute things together. And number two is consistency. Now, this consistency is the hard part, because when things go bad, they start losing their trust. They start losing their brotherhood, their bonding. And number three is unique color of game style, meaning their identity as a team. When other people look at this team, they see that, oh, this team plays this kind of game style. For example, Blacklist, Ube style.
Mm-hmm.
Echo's like super aggressive. They're turtle.
Right.
And then Aurora's macro gaming, where they protect domain, but they can still make amazing plays together for objectives.
Yes.
Protecting each other. So every single team has like different game styles. And that really, when you look at that team and says championship, then people know that what kind of game style they play. So that is what I feel like is what makes a championship team.
All right. Do you know a decision that fans have criticized for maybe you personally before, or fans have criticized from a specific team that you still stand by?
Can you give me an example?
Again, like for Aurora, let's say, they're too systematic. They only go for safe drafts. They don't have clutch factor, but you still stand by it. You don't change. You still think that's the way to go, despite losing.
I still stand by with Aurora because what people say is that they are not that strong. They're not aggressive. They're just playing by the book. But that is their style. It's just really matter of like, how can you make it? How can you make the foundation stronger? Also, another example is I'm going to talk about Onikindo.
Right.
Onikindo's game style is like really high mechanical players, like especially Sans, Keyboy, and then also Kairi, and then also their gold lane and the XP laners providing all the support for the team fight and everything. People might say that, oh, this team is getting carried by Kyrie,
Yeah.
and then their mid duo is very strong, but it's always the gold laner or the EXP laner is not really meeting their standards. But I believe that it's not really matter of players.
Hmm.
It's just really matter of how can they connect each other by treating each other the same way. Not just players, but also as coaches, from the coaches, but also from the management as well. Because this is the thing. When you have like incredible players, especially like Science is my favorite player, even before. Even in my Wolves podcast, I said Science is my GOAT of mid laners.
Right.
And of course, Kyrie is like, I don't need to speak anything about him because he's already proven and tested.
Yeah.
But people might think that this player is amazing, this player is amazing. So we need to meet their standards. But if we say it like that, then of course, the players who come inside the team will think that, oh, I need to meet their standards.
Yeah.
So they will be restricted to really unleash the true color of their game style.
Mm-hmm.
But what if we just put that all down? The fame, the ego, the profile, all those things, and just focus on we are a team starting new. We just treat each other same. We don't care about the championship you won, the ring, how many rings you have, or how many followers you have.
Mm-hmm.
We are brothers, we are teammates, and we have the same goal. So let's treat each other the same way. So I stand by in that way that teams who have amazing profile and people saying they need to meet their standards, but still I respect that if that team is working on their inner trust, then I want the fans to respect that as well, and the people.
So how would you handle, say, like a superstar player that the ego gets out of control? What would you do to that kind of player?
If it was me before, I will literally just not make him play.
Wow. Okay. Sub him off. Bench him.
Bench him until he calms down his ego. And then I will scold him, shout at him, but of course I will try to make him understand why I'm doing this.
Right.
If it's me right now, how would I handle a superstar team? If he's the player that has a superstar syndrome, he feels really great, and I cannot fix that, then I'll have the support of the other players. Guys, we want to win a championship, and then we all know that we cannot have this superstar syndrome on the team, but I also need to ask them first. Not me saying this is the problem, but telling them, what do you guys think is the problem? Then they will say these things. So I will get the alignment of the other players and build a healthy culture based on that. So if the majority of the organizations, the people are really working on that healthy and then have healthy environment and a good communication, then of course that one player will feel secluded. He'll feel like I'm being left out. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
So he will actually naturally want to join, not because he has to, but because he actually wants to, because he sees the good part out of it.
Right.
So I think that's how I would handle a team like that.
Okay. So now I want to ask more about you, Coach.
Finally.
Yeah. What legacy do you want as a coach, as a person in MLBB? What do you, What legacy do you want?
Legacy.
By the end of your coaching career, what do you want to be remembered for?
So, again, I keep saying about my past because it's been a very big transformation about how I value and vision things in my perspective right now. Before I was thinking that my value comes from the title. If I'm a championship coach, then I'm a championship person. If I win MSC, then I'm the best in Southeast Asia. If I'm this, like this. So that's why I felt entitled to everything. Like I felt like I'm the best before. So I stopped trying to learn. I had a big ego and I didn't accept feedbacks.
This was after MSC?
All throughout my coaching career, actually.
Oh, okay.
But in season 9, I was not really like that. I was really working for the passion only.
Right.
Notebook and a pen. Just like how I started coaching in my first Archangel days in season 3 in MPL. My legacy was getting the trophies. So my legacy was like getting the M series. But thankfully, God stopped me from getting that M series. Why? Because He wanted me to change for a better purpose, which is to view the world a different way. So in order to answer to going back to your question, what is my legacy? My legacy is not trophies, money, fame, position anymore. My legacy is to inspire others, players who has a very great potential but haven't reached it because they don't have a safe and happy environment. So my legacy is to inspire those and they will inspire others. And in that way, the legacy continues in their memories.
Mm.
And that's way more valuable than just trophies because just because what I did with my full passion and
Right.
heart and the love, they will do the same to other people.
Mm.
In that way, my name goes on, saying, Coach Panda did this to me,
Right.
and I want to do this for you. Same thing,
Yeah.
generation to generation. That is my personal legacy that I really think about. That even when I'm thinking about it, I'm quite in tears right now. It just makes me feel so happy thinking I can really do that.
Yeah. You can have a lasting impression on everybody that
Yes.
you've coached with, that you've
And
worked
that
with.
is my why. The
Mm.
purpose that I am here. Purpose I wake up the next day feeling inspired.
Mhm.
Even though I'm sleeping like 3 to 4 hours only in the boot camp in the gaming house right now, I still wake up doing the military training, feeling happy, with full semangat. And that is who I am right now.
All right. So can you tell us a little bit more on the military training? What do you guys do? Is it the physical part?
Okay, so in Korean military, we have something called cadence training.
Okay.
So you will go like they will get aligned.
Mhm.
Every morning in the military, we will go like wembal. If you sabi, it's like other way of saying in Indonesian words, it's kiri, kiri,
Mm.
kiri,
Okay.
kiri,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then we also do like other military training. For example, like if one person fails, then everyone fails.
Ah. So it's team effort
team.
always.
And of course, there are some players that really have like a physical limit to what they can actually do. So what I do is that, let's say I will give them a team challenge. If one person cannot meet it, then everyone has to do it, suffer.
Mm.
But what I did is that instead of forcing everyone to do it, because of course I don't want them to get injured, I asked, okay, this player A, if I, let's say Eman, if you can only do 1 minute of this, while the team goal is 3 minutes, then I will ask the other players, guys, is it okay? I will just put Eman only for 1 minute, but instead I will increase the others.
Uh-huh.
So we did these kind of trainings as well. And so far, very good.
Very good. Okay. So now you've referred to the old Panda like a lot of times.
Yeah.
What made you change? What was the click that finally like got to you?
I get always emotional thinking about the part after season 14. Like I said, before my legacy was building trophies,
To seeking those trophies.
seeking those
Glory.
trophies, because I felt like I am valued by what I
Achieve.
achieve.
Mhm.
But when I lost that season 14, getting into even the playoffs, I lost, my team also disbanded,
Right.
right? So I lost my family, which was RSG culture. I lost my players. And then I also lost my physical part because I was very unhealthy. So it's like I was literally like the most bottom part of who I can be.
That was rock bottom.
Rock bottom. And that time I didn't really want to make friends much. I was not really sociable. So when I lost all that and it came to Korea, I didn't know who I am. What do I value from now? I'm not in esports, but I've been doing esports my whole 5 to 6 years.
Mhm.
I cannot find a proper job that's connected to my college before, which was biomedical engineering. So what can I do? And also, I'm in Korea. I haven't been to Korea for more than 10 years.
Mhm.
I'm living with my family. I don't have an income. I need, like, in Korea at my age, everyone needs to get married, have a family, everything, be independent. So I was just really felt like I'm stuck. And I have no friends at all in Korea as well. So all I did was just, in the first 1 or 2 months, is just stay alone.
Mm.
But I started to write journals, how I feel that day.
Okay.
And then eventually, while I'm writing about myself, I found out that I abuse myself too much. It's like I'm talking to my alter ego inside, like the child inside me.
Yeah.
And then I felt so sorry for him. I abuse you too much. I'm sorry.
By abusing, you mean like blaming?
Blaming myself
Okay.
that I had you just chase trophies,
Right.
not taking care of your physical, mental state.
Mm-hmm.
So I was literally back to zero or even minus. And so then that's when I started to go to the gym, wake up in the morning, take a walk with my dog.
Discipline.
Yeah, and then what happened is that as soon as I gained more control of what I'm doing every day,
Right.
I started to learn that what I really want to do. So I start writing a book.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a book about what not to do if you want to be a good coach. Because I made so many mistakes from my old past.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to your question, is that I lost everything, went to a dark part, but that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have seen the world in a more positive, loving way and come to Indonesia especially.
Right.
Because I think some of the people know in social media where I used to say in the stage after I got eliminated saying, please defeat Indo.
Right. I remember. Yes.
And I got bashed a lot.
Oh, yeah?
But now I'm in Indonesia.
Right.
And I want BTR to win, which is an Indonesian team.
Amen. My goats.
I'm not switching sides. It's just that whatever team I go to,
Absolutely.
I treat them as my family.
Yeah.
And I want them to win. Whoever it is.
Yeah.
Right? So that is what I've been going through.
Yeah. And I'm glad you're finally here in BTR, by the way, because like, I remember asking you as well. I don't know if you went through the DM.
I did.
Like, yo, when are you coming to Indo? You know, preferably BTR. It's like that I cannot say yet, Mirko. That was about your answer back in the day. Took 2 years from that DM.
2 years.
For
2
now,
years.
you to be in Indonesia.
Yeah.
And it's great having you here. And
Thank you.
hey, that's a wonderful journey that you shared. Actually, I could relate to it a bit. During the 2021 days M3, when I went through rock bottom myself. And it's always great to hear like that other perspective, you know, like that side where again, I've never expected, I never thought of that for you as a coach, right? So now, is it safe to say you don't look at those international trophies anymore at all? Or do you still look to it as like motivation still?
It is my goal,
Uh-huh.
but it is not my plan.
It's not the end goal.
Yeah.
Or,
My plan is to build cultures of trust, discipline, where everyone can really work in a good and safe environment to reach their full potential. But of course, I still longing for that trophies
right.
because it feels great, right?
Obviously.
Now, I'm not contradicting what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But still, I was a coach. And I do have plans that maybe once I finish my contract in Korea,
Uh-huh.
I do plan to coach again.
So you're gonna come back to BTR? I mean, like to Indo then?
We don't know in Indonesia.
In the
Philippines,
future?
Malaysia, I don't know. But hopefully I'm looking towards either Malaysia or Indonesia or other countries. So there's a new environment as well. So I can actually fully unleash my new me
Right.
to a new environment.
Right.
So, and if that happens, I will give myself a timeline. From here until then, I will get these achievements, these milestones,
Right.
which will be the trophies. But that will not be the main thing I'll be chasing.
Yeah. Hey, that's great. Now, this is the final segment. I do this with every guest, but it's a segment where I ask you fan questions because I already told the fans that I'll be doing a podcast with
Really?
you. Yeah, I just did like, I think 2 hours before you arrived. So
Okay.
I'm going to go through the top comments here and ask you. All right. Most of the questions, by the way, are about choking in BTR. So I won't ask you that question because we've already gone through like, oh, what about the choker thing? Dream team. Let's start with that. Currently, who is the dream team? And you can still go for like, obviously, it's biased as always. It's your subjective opinion. Let's start with XP. Because coach, you're the coach, obviously.
EXP?
Yeah.
In Indonesia?
Yes. No, it could be worldwide. It could be just the players you want at your disposal. If you were say to have unlimited budget, no import rules, no nothing, no restrictions, what would be the team you go for?
Can it be players who are not active also right now?
Yes, you can go for Nats.
I would go for Nats.
Yeah.
I would go for Nats. But if Indonesian, I'll go for Luke.
Wow. Is there a reason for picking Luke? Because yesterday I did a stream and everybody was like, Luke is average. And I'm like, what the am I watching the same games as you guys?
When I first saw Luke on Geek Fam, I saw him as someone who's very similar to Nuts. Not in terms of like game style, like aggressive game style, because Luke is very aggressive game style.
Yes.
And he's also very highly mechanic. He's also wide hero pool. But I saw like his, in Tagalog, we call it gigilness. Meaning like this eagerness to win the game. And it shows in his game style. Especially when he played Benedetta before, his Masha, his Yuzong, Lapu, name it. But Indonesian player Luke, I personally want to train as well. But of course, I'm not going to say any BTR players. Okay?
Oh, okay.
I will not say because
Interesting.
they will be my top priority no matter what, especially after this week. Next.
Jungle.
Okay. Before, Nile is my number one for me.
Ooh.
But not BTR.
Yeah.
I will go for Super Ken.
Dude, W Panda. This is my goal right here. Okay, why Ken?
When Super Ken was in BTR, we meshed each other.
Oh.
And then we actually, when Eman was first there, and then we get to
Right.
talk to each other, I told Super Ken, you're going to be the best jungler.
Wow.
And that time, it was Kyrie's best moments.
Yeah, season 13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Super Ken did not believe, but he was happy to hear that.
Yeah.
But I saw so much potential in that kid.
Same, dude.
So much.
Yes. That is so far the two answers that you've given are like very interesting. I think out of the box because I don't think anyone would choose Super Ken and
Really?
like Luke Nats currently. Yeah.
Maybe because I'm old fashioned.
Yeah,
I'm stuck in the past.
I love it. I love the answers. I love the reasoning behind it too. Mid lane.
Suns.
Okay, still Sans.
But I feel like there are players who are catching up to Suns.
Ooh.
I can see that.
Oh.
Indonesia is like really micro heavy players.
Want to name any names? Mention any? Moreno?
Moreno.
Lisa? Oh, my
Lisa.
goat! My goat! Let's go. Amen, bro. I agree. I've always rated them highly.
So good.
So Rome.
Rome? Oh my god. I'm really trying not to name my players.
Yeah.
But Finn is so good.
Wow. Damn.
If I can name most improved player this week, it's Finn.
Finn.
Incredible player.
Wow.
But if it's not Finn,
Yeah. Outside of BTR.
outside BTR, of course, I have so much respect to Keyboy.
Ooh.
Keyboy Sans. The thing I like about Keyboy is that he understands the game so well for his team. He works for his team. He moves for his team. And then I can feel like he has so much passion towards the game. I can see it from his face.
Right. His expression.
Yes, I don't know him personally, but I can feel it. And also, I feel like RQ, Edok, is actually really good.
Good shout. Very nice.
Edok is really good. And other teams,
What about your boy Light? You don't want to mention your boys?
that's too biased.
Okay.
He's my child.
Understood. So
Can't
the
say that.
RSGPH mostly are just like, okay, those are just complete for sure bias. You're gonna leave them out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want because it's mundane. It's boring.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood. So now last roll then, gold lane. You say you don't want to be biased, but Eman.
Hey man.
Okay.
But I will put Keldra.
Damn, yeah, that's gonna be such an exciting matchup, season 17, dude.
It will be.
I'm so excited for that. So just Eman and Kelra?
Who are the other gold laners? Can you give me any ideas? Because
Domeng, maybe.
Domeng, of course. I trained Domeng also back in the days before he came to MPL.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and the thing is that Eman and Domeng, they were in the same team before.
Wow, I didn't know that.
They
What
were in a
team?
team called Cerebrum Esports,
Oh.
which was before MPL.
Wow.
Yes. And then that time, we all knew that Domeng is really good. And when they lane against each other,
Mhm.
there are many times that actually Eman lost. And
Wow.
yeah,
That's new.
yeah. So, but still, Eman for me.
Okay.
Oh, Benny Cutie. I still respect that guy. Aggressive, new, smart player.
Right.
Indonesia, how about other players in gold lane?
Innocent.
Ah,
Mhm.
you know, I was almost there to get Innocent, and that was a time when he was like in the TNC, not performing that well.
Yep.
And that time I needed the gold lane,
Oh.
and I really, really wanted Innocent.
Right.
And everyone told me, "Why Innocent? Why? Why?" And honestly, I didn't get the approval to get him.
Oh man. But he was your choice.
Yes, and I did tell him that you have so much potential. And when I went to Malaysia, it was like on October last year.
Right. I saw that
I
post.
met him.
Yeah.
And then the first thing he told me is like, "Hey coach, how are you?" And then we talked and he said, "You know, coach, I'm still thankful that before when I was in TNC, you saw potential in me. And you told me that I'm good." And he still remember that.
Damn.
And I feel so happy.
Yeah.
So I can still have I still have my eyes on which players are good. So really happy to say all those things.
Yeah, that's sick. So last question. I don't know if you can say this, but who out of all the players you've coached, you've worked with, who do you think is the most talented? Who do you think has the most potential?
Of all the players
Of
I
all the players you've worked with.
work with, potential, right?
Potential.
Right? Potential.
Just pure potential.
Finn.
Damn, Finn.
Yes.
Wow. I can't wait to see this, dude.
I'm not providing false expectation.
Right.
It's like when I first saw Light.
Damn, that is especially after winning a world championship now. That's
Yeah. Finn,
uh-huh.
just knowing about his story kind of makes me, tearful. But he has an incredible character. Very, he sacrificed a lot. And at the same time, he still loves his teammates. He always puts his teammates first. At the same time, he improves so much.
Right.
All the players that I've been coached this week, BTR, all 8 players, they're amazing.
Okay.
There is not any one single player I would sell or trade or bench.
Wow.
That's how good I saw my players.
Damn, dude.
But of course, I really need to say Coach Deonail, Coach Erpang, especially Coach Deonail, is really great. I know that there are many fans in the community saying that, why Coach Deonail? Why Coach Erpang? Why would you bring like a weak profile that because of them, BTS didn't do well? Like there's like inconsistent. But man, my personal goal, not the BTS goal, is that I told Coach Deonail, we're working together, but my goal is to make you the greatest of all time for me.
Okay.
My ability.
Right.
And he took the challenge, and every single day he's working way harder than I did before.
Wow.
He's so passionate and loving to the players right now. So I just want the fans and the community to give him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I see is not false.
Yeah.
And I believe that he can sustain and maintain the system that we created this week.
Right.
So coaching staff, players, management, co-ed, all because of them, I'm very fulfilled right now. And I think I made the right choice to join BTR this season.
That's great to hear. So final maybe message you want to send to the Bigetroopers. You can look at me when you say a message to Bigetrooper because I am the guy. I am Bigetrooper number 1.
Okay. Hello, namasaya Coach Panda. Thank you for having me, guys. I know it's my first time in Indonesia. I tried nasi lemak. I tried soto, and I tried ayam, like nasi ayam.
Okay.
I tried so many
Nasi padang.
Nasi padang. I also tried as
padang.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Migo, like everything I tried, and I want to say, I love Indonesia, and because it's not only about the people, but the food is great. Of course, the traffic and the pollution is not a big fan, but
yeah, pretty
I
bad.
came from the Philippines, so it's not really a new thing for me.
Okay, similar, yeah?
No hard feelings. But thank you for also accepting me in your community. Since I'm in BTR, I will do my best to have the Indonesian esports, you know, to help BTR to be more competitive, so you
Right.
guys can see a better, amazing games.
Amen.
I cannot promise results, but I can show that we have great progress. So just have patience and support us, Bigetroopers. Hati-hati.
Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you for coming.
Thank you
Pleasure.
very much. It's a pleasure.
And that's going to wrap up the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.